Bombshell, Gooners, Arsenal fans demand £116 million. Superstar is signed immediately after Morgan Rogers picks Chelsea. Meanwhile, Arsenal are considering a completely free transfer shock move for a Premier League icon released by Manchester City, and the reasoning behind it actually makes perfect sense given the Saliba injury crisis. And Bruno Guimarães has made an immovable exit decision at Newcastle, with 3 specific reasons now driving his desire to leave, but the obstacle standing between him and Arsenal remains as frustrating as ever. This is the most dramatic and painful day of Arsenal's entire summer, and Berta needs to respond immediately. If you want every detail on these explosive stories as this window reaches its most critical crossroads yet, subscribe right now, turn on notifications, and let's get straight into it. Let's jump straight into the first story because David Ornstein has just posted the words that have broken every single Gooner's heart this summer. And the speed at which this deal has moved after months of Arsenal being widely considered favourites makes the blow even harder to absorb. Ornstein's post was devastating in its clarity. Chelsea reach verbal agreement with Aston Villa to sign Morgan Rogers. Bid of £117 million accepted by Aston Villa and being finalised. 6+ 1 year contract, medical Monday. Arsenal were interested, but the 23-year-old attacker wanted Chelsea. The player wanted Chelsea. That is the line that stings most deeply, not that Arsenal could not afford him, not that Villa priced them out. The player Taumann, who spent the entire summer reportedly telling people he wanted to go to Arsenal, who had Declan Rice working on him in the England camp, who was spotted socialising with Kieran Gibbs on the day of the title parade, chose Chelsea. After all of that, after months of groundwork, relationship building, and public declarations of preference, the final decision went the other way. The reaction from Arsenal supporters has been immediate and unified, and it points directly to what Berta must do next. Fan after fan demanding the same name. Barcola. Bring Barcola. One tweet read, "If the player wanted to go elsewhere, no need to sulk. Move on, get Barcola." Another. Berta has to go in for Bradley Barcola now. It is the only way the club can remedy this. And perhaps most bluntly, Berta, you go get me Barcola right now. The supporters are not wrong. The left-wing position that was being rebuilt around Rogers is now completely open. Trossard has left for Besiktas. Martinelli's future is uncertain with Roma and Juventus circling. Solis has just been signed but has been publicly described as a supplementary option rather than the headline addition. The left wing needs an elite solution, and Barcola, who Fabrizio Romano confirmed this summer, has contract talks in complete standstill at PSG and genuine movement around his exit, is the most obvious and most exciting alternative on the market. The Rogers loss hurts. Genuinely. But the greatest directors in football history have all faced moments where a primary target chose elsewhere, and the ones who responded quickly and decisively with an even better alternative are the ones who are remembered as great. Berta has the relationships. He has the budget that Villa's fee would have consumed. He has the player who has been telling his representatives all summer that London appeals and Arsenal appeal. This is not the end of the summer story. This is where it really begins. Go and get Barcola, Berta. Do it today. So Gooners, how gutted are you about Rogers choosing Chelsea? And do you believe Berta can respond by signing Barcola before this window closes? Drop everything in the comments right now. Now let's talk about a name that Arsenal supporters absolutely never expected to see linked with the Emirates, because The Sun are reporting that Arsenal are considering a shock move to sign John Stones on a free transfer. And when you look at the specific problem they are trying to solve, the logic is actually more compelling than the headline suggests. The background is now well established. Saliba faces 4 to 5 months out following back surgery. Gabriel Magalhaes remains the one established, trusted centre-back in the squad. Beyond him, Christian Mosquera is capable but unproven at this level. Calafiori and Hincapié are both left-footed, creating obvious tactical limitations in a 2 centre-back pairing. And White's value is now as emergency central defensive cover rather than as a right-back. The gap in the squad is real, urgent, and potentially season-defining. Enter John Stones. The 32-year-old was released by Manchester City at the end of his contract this summer, ending a 10-year relationship with the club where he won every major trophy available under Pep Guardiola. The man who hailed him as incredible was not using the word carelessly. Stones at his best has been one of the finest ball-playing centre-backs in European football, comfortable under pressure, intelligent in his positioning, and capable of driving out from the back in a way that perfectly suits how Arteta wants his teams to play. He showed at the World Cup with England that despite his injury history and age, the quality and the reading of the game remain completely intact. The genius of this solution, if it can be completed, is its financial simplicity. Free transfer, no fee. The budget that would have gone to Stones goes instead towards Barcola, Alvarez or Guimarães. The only cost is wages, and even if those wages are significant given his profile and experience, the total outlay is dramatically lower than any market alternative. Konsa would cost £60 million. Asensio wants to stay at Real Madrid. Stones walks in for nothing and fills the gap until Saliba returns in December. The outstanding question is whether Stones himself would accept a backup role. A player who has spent 10 years winning trophies at the highest level, who has been a Champions League winner and a Premier League champion multiple times over, may not relish being the cover option at a rival club. But if Arteta can frame it correctly, you are coming in. You will play regularly for 4 to 5 months while our best player recovers, and you will be part of a title defence. Perhaps the pitch is more attractive than it first appears. So Gooners, would you take John Stones on a free transfer as emergency cover while Saliba recovers? Or do you think Arsenal need to spend proper money on a more permanent defensive solution? Drop your verdict. Now let's round things off with the Bruno Guimarães saga, because sources have just revealed that the Brazilian's desire to leave Newcastle is now described as immovable, driven by 3 specific and deeply personal reasons. But the obstacle standing between him and Arsenal remains just as immovable on the other side. The 3 factors driving Guimarães to seek a move are now clearly established. First, he has watched Newcastle sell Gordon for £69 million, Tonali for £100 million and Isak for £125 million last summer. He has seen his best teammates leave one by one while being asked to remain as the one who holds it all together. That breeds a frustration that eventually becomes impossible to ignore. Second, Newcastle have failed to qualify for Champions League football, and Guimarães at 28, turning 29 in November, knows that his window to compete at the very highest level of European football is narrowing with every passing month. Third, his representatives are acutely aware that time is running out for the kind of big money move that reflects his genuine market value. Wait another year and that window may close permanently. Sources describe his wish to leave as immovable right now. He will return to Newcastle for pre-season because, as Ben Jacobs confirmed earlier, he is handling this respectfully rather than with the confrontation Alexander Isak used to force his Liverpool move. But his mind is made up. He wants to go, he wants Arsenal, and he believes the move can still happen this summer, even with Newcastle's hardline stance. The complication remains stubbornly real. Arsenal have twice had verbal offers rejected. Newcastle's asking price is now confirmed at £100 million, the same figure they received for Tonali, with no release clause offering a clean route through. And Newcastle are reportedly hoping that by giving Guimarães extra recovery time after the World Cup, they can keep speculation quiet during pre-season and perhaps convince him to reconsider if Arsenal's interest cools. But with Rodgers now gone to Chelsea and the attacking budget partially freed up, Arsenal's capacity to meet that £100 million demand has actually increased. The Rodgers deal would have cost over £117 million. That money is still in the account. Newcastle's price is £100 million. The arithmetic has never been more favourable for making this deal happen. If Berta and the board decide that Guimarães is worth it alongside whatever attacking reinforcement replaces Rodgers. The player wants out. The money is there. The only question is whether Arsenal blink first. So Gooners, with Rodgers gone and the budget freed up, do you now think Arsenal should go all in and meet Newcastle's £100 million demand for Guimarães? This is the biggest question of the entire summer. Let me know every single thought in the comments. If you enjoyed this video and want to stay up to date with everything happening at Arsenal, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Here you'll get every win, every signing and every moment that could decide the Premier League. Let's go together. Come on you Gunners.